for embezzlement.
I know.
It's been going on since last
Julie
year.
Brown, Julie Brown, Julie Brown, Julie Brown.
And this year they submitted their budget. There was $10 million in errors. The entire budget is only $84 million. $10 million in errors. The two new counselors, they started asking questions. For brooking the old guard, they didn't like that. So they shut them down. They muzzled them. Our city council is no longer allowed to ask questions about the budget. This is happening right now in your city. And then they write this stupid mask ordinance. And I'll be honest with you, if a business asks me to wear a mask on their own volition, I'll do it. But when you look at the big picture, this is the line. And I say, no, I will not comply. No. It's not that I disagree with the mandate. It's that they're power drunk. Government simply cannot be allowed to make it up as they go along. When this is all over, our state is going to be in a huge hole. There's already a $3.5 billion budget shortfall. Since March, 435,000 people in Colorado have filed for unemployment. And for every 1% increase in unemployment, there's a direct 1% increase in the suicide rate. We all know that that's already a problem. They say up to 40% of the furloughed jobs aren't going to be there when we do open back up. People's lives are being destroyed. How many businesses got to go bankrupt? All across the country, the money from the CARES Act has been used by the states to balance their budget, to pay for their years and years of incompetence. Here, the Gallagher Amendment is about to trigger the largest decrease in property taxes in state history. So they want to get rid of it. What else are they going to do? Who knows that they just got rid of the homestead exemption? With no discussion. I'm telling you, we're in for a bumpy ride. My question is, what is the government going to do next? Are they going to take a pay cut?
No.
Are they going to trim the fat off their budgets?
No.
Are they going to suddenly become fiscally responsible?
No.
They're going to cut funding to schools. They're going to cut funding to roads, to police departments, to the things we really need. They're already starting. Look at INR.
Yep.
Huge budget cuts already. They want to get rid of Tabor, and they want to raise your taxes. So we're supposed to stand around like a bunch of cows chewing the grass, waiting on our masters in Denver, in the county, in City Hall, waiting on them to tell us when and what we can do with our own lives, with our own property, with our own businesses.
And our own body.
We end up standing there like a beggar boy and a little boy asks, please, sir, can I have some more stimulus, sir? Please? I don't want any more stimulus. I don't want any more corporate bailouts. I don't want any more incentive for the government to keep us locked down. That's not freedom. That's not America. It's time to open up. Alright, so I've been talking too long already. So before we head downtown, Lou's going to say a couple words, but I want to say, I'm not trying to tell anybody what they can and cannot do, but we do want to go over a couple of guidelines. First of all, spend some damn money.
Yep.
All this stock is meaningless if you don't back it up. If you forgot your wallet, you didn't bring money, whatever, holler at me, I'll buy you a sandwich when we get down here. The businesses, they're out here, they want your support. Last week, Mr. Avery had the brilliant idea of videoing the march, so do that, especially if there's any type of negative interaction. There is another march going on, or protest going on at 7 o'clock in Buckley Park. Had an idea, maybe we get down there and do something real quick, because last week we just went down there and came back. If we do get down there and they are there, please don't even interact. We don't want any kind of issues. If you're going to do a sit-down dinner, do it on the way back so that we can get to Buckley, we can have a minute, and then we can, while we're there, 10 feet, groups of 10, 6 feet apart, blah, blah, blah. You guys know all this stuff. And all right, thanks for coming. Lou's going to say a couple words, and then we'll see you in the park.
all be at a bar somewhere up on Main Street? Absolutely. Having a beer?
Yeah.
Keith, great job.
Thank you,
Keith always comes with facts. And facts count. That's really, really important. And he always does that, and I always appreciate that. My name's Lou Webb, completely unimportant. What is important is us. This, huh? They can't hear me.
Speak up, Lou.
I've never really been told I have a little voice, but okay. Look, what's important is us. You know, this is what's important. We are gathered here to push back on something that just isn't right.
Here, here.
It's not right what's going on. But Heath kind of filled you in on what's going on locally. Okay? You don't want to hear the same thing. It's like listening to the news and every talking head comes on and tells you the same story. So I think that what I would like to maybe talk about here a little bit is kind of the larger picture. Question: do we have any conservatives here? Okay. Do we have any liberals here? Okay. Moderates? Okay. Here's the deal. This isn't a right-wing, left-wing, Democrat, Republican thing. This is a we the people thing.
Thank
We
you.
are all
Yeah.
we the people. That's us. All of us. It doesn't make any difference what your political affiliation is. This is just a question of, is government the answer or is government the problem? Right? That's I don't know. That's how I see it. I guess the question that I think that we avoid as we the people is, who has the power in America?
People are
We the people or the government? But we've become fearful. I saw a sign over here. Let me see that. Fear does not stop death, it stops life. Okay? We've become fearful of our government. We're afraid of what our government is going to do to us if we don't, for example, wear a mask, or gather in more than 10, or go down the river in a frickin' raft and get too close to the other raft. We're afraid of that. Now let that sink in for a minute. We're afraid of our government. When did that happen to us? We're Americans, man. Think this right here, this red on these flags, that isn't just some sort of artistic kind of a deal. That stands for something. The freedom that we have, that we've become kind of fearful to exert, came at a great cost. And I mean over time. People have died for the freedoms that we enjoy. They would be rolling in their graves today to see how we have become complacent, somewhat subjugated. Dude, this is how slaves become slaves. Excuse me, I'm not a very good speaker, so I gotta. Doing great. I guess the question is, are we free or not?
Yes.
We are.
Because today we're acting like it. In general, we don't. In general, we don't act like we're free. I believe I completely believe that what's happening right now is a test. This is a test of our government to seeing just how much will comply.
Here, here.
Right?
Yep.
Yes.
Will you social distance? Will you wear a mask? Will you do what the will you do what you're told? That's not the way it works here, gang. Now look. No, you can't put your knee on some guy's neck and kill him. I don't care if you're a cop or not.
No.
No, you can't do that in America. But you've got to wear a red shirt on Fridays because we told you to? Hell no. You got to wear a mask? Hell no. Open. Everybody needs to open, right?
100%.
And here's the deal. As free Americans, we have the choice whether to go to that restaurant to eat or not.
Yes.
But to tell that restaurant you cannot be open, you cannot pursue your livelihood, you can't earn a living, that's bullshit. That's wrong. That is just not the way it's supposed to work. The freedom is our choice to go there and buy a pair of shoes or a pair of pants or... Isn't that how it works?
Yes.
Right.
But here's the fear part. These businesses are afraid they're going to get their business license yanked if they open. Gang, if they all open at the same time, really? The city is going to yank every business license and destroy the economy of the entire town? Hell no! Okay, let me tell you the way that works.
Fucking lawyer bills when everybody just opens for no fucking reason. I'm totally with this, man. I think that this whole thing's been total bullshit. But you're asking me just like kids' lives in jeopardy, my life in jeopardy, to just open up and say let's just do it.
Everybody does it.
My thing is how many business owners are here? How many business owners? Downtown?
Thank you. Thank you.
We're open right now.
Okay, so let me tell you what the answer is to this.
You need to stay home.
The answer is to this. Let's ask our forefathers. Did it take courage
Yep.
to say to England, no more? We're not going to be oppressed. I'm not saying it doesn't take, you don't have to be brave to do it. I'm not saying there is no risk. I'm saying that life is risky. Life has risk. You know, you get in or get out. In this case, I believe that our businesses need to open because I think this is a test of whether we will comply or not.
Amen.
So, here's the other thing that this is. This is continued development of government dependence. This is how socialism is done. Let's not go to work. Don't go to work. But hey, don't worry about it. We'll send you a government check. Right? Also, some people that can now go back to work go, well, wait a minute. I am actually making more sitting on my couch than I would if I went back to work. Our government is using we the people's money to pay we the people not to work. Look at CRP programs. We pay our farmers not to farm. This is how pets are made. They are, and so right. At the end of the day, $6 trillion added to our already $25 trillion deficit or whatever it is. They have mortgaged her future and her kids' future and her great-grandkids' future. That is untenable. We live in this world of sustainable. Everything has to be sustainable. Sustainable. Is that sustainable? No. The government is out of control. And I know I'm getting, you want me to quit. So, getting us to comply, getting us to follow rules, telling us you got to wear a mask, you got to do this, you got to do that. Folks, that's how fascism starts. And everybody wants to go, oh man, this is America. That can't happen here. Fascism can't happen here. Let's see. Let's ask the Germans in the 20s and 30s if they thought that could happen in Germany. What do you think the Chinese thought before Mao Zedong came along and changed that whole program? Russia and Stalin, that worked out pretty good for the Russians? No? Ceausescu in Romania, Pol Pot in Cambodia. I mean, this is how it starts. They start taking little freedoms, little bit of freedoms, and then you end up with fascism. So here's the deal about that. In a socialist governance model, the politicians have all the wealth and the power. Think about that. That's how it happens. That's why some of our politicians are really pushing, oh yeah. We don't want that to happen. So here's the deal about that. Those other countries, Germany, Russia, China, Cambodia, Romania, Iran, etc. Oh, they didn't have this one thing that we do. The Second Amendment. We have teeth in our freedom. They didn't. Now look, that doesn't mean I am saying, hey, go pull a gun out on somebody. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying though is if push comes to shove, we can shove back. Don't let them ever take your guns. Don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. I'm gonna finish with two quick things, and they're both quotes. One of them is Isoroku Yamamoto, the architect of Pearl Harbor. We eventually shot him down towards the end of the war, but he actually was Harvard educated. He was in America. And he said, the reason no one can ever invade mainland America is because there would be a gun behind every blade of grass. Okay? So here's the deal. That's why our government will never subjugate us. But it will take bravery and courage to stand up to it. Finally, last thing. This is Thomas Jefferson, and I'm sorry this took so long. Honor, justice, and humanity forbid us tamely to surrender that freedom which we have received from our gallant ancestors and which our innocent posterity deserve to receive from us. Thanks for your ear.